Hey, what's good, family? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful day. Today is the second day of the work week. I hope that you had a good day today. It's beautiful out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I hope those of y'all out here is able to, to enjoy the weather and the likelihood. And we all are human. And and into this life, a little rain must fall, and the likelihood that y'all have had one of those days, because we all do, we're human. Always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah, God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So, yesterday was day one of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago at the United Center. United Center is the home of the Bulls and the Blackhawks. So, there were protests. Well, before I get into the protests, I mentioned yesterday that Planned Parenthood had clinics, and they weren't at the United Center like around, but they were like a few blocks away. They had up these mobile clinics where you could get abortion pills and free vasectomies for men. So that was one thing that was going on, and I touched on that yesterday. Another thing that was going on, and this is on a mass scale, there were protests about Palestine, about Israel's war against Hamas with Palestine. So the protesters was calling Joe Biden Genocide Joe and Kamala Harris Killer Kamala. I'm not making this up. It's actual videos of it. There were in mass numbers, thousands of people out there. Also, I saw Dr. Boyce Watkins tweet on X that 25 people got shot. I guess that's small potatoes compared to with the Democratic National Convention going on, but it's still noteworthy. 25 people got shot, people getting free abortions and vasectomies. You have these protests about Israel and Palestine. What else was there? There was something else. Oh, people were protesting the crisis at the border, illegal immigration, mostly black people in Chicago. So you had that going on. But like Kim Iverson of The Hill, great journalist, she's on this paper called The Hill. Check it out. It's worth checking out. It's worth reading. So she has this podcast that she does, and I listened to her this morning, and she was saying how the Democrats want to fool the people that everything is happy, joy. There's no problems. Everything is hunky dory. Everything is happy, joy. And so she highlighted these things with the protests about the legal immigration, um, the war with Hamas, with Israel Hamas. Them the two things she touched on. She didn't really touch. She didn't touch on the abortion thing or the 25 people getting shot. But it's mainly the Israel Hamas conflict and the what was it? The yeah, pretty much that. And she said that this year's convention. Now this is interesting that well she said here, and it made me my antennas go up. She said that this convention is reminiscent of 1968 Democratic National Convention. That convention, ironically enough, was in Chicago, the 1968 Democratic Convention. Mayor Daley was mayor, Richard Daley. There's a Brandon Johnson now, but it was Richard Daley back then. The only difference between then and now, the United States was involved in Vietnam, and people were mad about that. There were mass protests against the conflict in Vietnam. That was the highlight of the Democratic National Convention. All the protests against the Vietnam conflict. A lot of people. I mean, that was. I read stories about it. There's a movie out about it. Saw videos of it. It was something. Not only that, The Democratic National Convention that year in Chicago, 1968, came on the heels of two assassinations. The first being Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was assassinated in April 68. And then in June, 2 months later, in LA, Robert Kennedy Sr. was assassinated. So you had two assassinations that were noteworthy from polarizing figures, Dr. King and Robert Kennedy Sr., who before that, years before that, was the Attorney General for the Kennedy administration. John F. Kennedy's little brother was Robert Kennedy Sr., the father of Robert Kennedy Jr., whose son is currently running for president now. The irony, right? The irony. 56 years later, DNC's in Chicago, protests about war, Israel Hamas, which, let's not fool ourselves, America is involved in. It's a proxy war. We're giving billions of dollars to Israel, breaking them off. Proxy war. Robert Kennedy Jr. is running for president. He's a third party candidate. He's running not an independent, but I forgot what party he's running as. But he's a third party candidate. Now, 56 years earlier, his daddy was running for president, and he would have won. There's no doubt in my mind, if Robert Kennedy Sr. had not been assassinated, he would have been the next president of the United States. But Sirhan has something to say about that, and he put a bullet in him in LA in June of 68. He would have been president. Nixon would have never been elected. He would have beat Nixon. And 8 years prior to that, 1960, his brother beat Nixon. So you see how everything's connected here? 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, RFK was the leading candidate. 2024 Chicago, a Kennedy is running, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but he's not the leading candidate. The leading candidate is, the Democratic candidate is Kamala Harris. And the way they did that was illegal because there wasn't a vote for it. They just automatically selected her to be the front runner of the Democratic Party. It wasn't fair. They just selected her. There wasn't any votes taken. That is not the democratic process. That is outright just tyranny. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when we do videos on here. So no, that's not the democratic process because there were no votes taken. She didn't do any primaries. They just selected her. And this, I'm gonna segue from that into this. I don't know if y'all saw this, but Joe Biden came out there and gave the last speech. I kind of felt bad for Jim Crow Joe in a sense because they rolled him out there and they told the old man, a sitting president. Joe Biden is still the sitting president, Jim Crow Joe. He's still the sitting president. They had this man speak the first day of the convention, the last speech of the night. They just rolled him out there. You had Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors. I don't know what that was about. Hillary Clinton. But then old man Joe, they rolled him out there. They are pushing him out the picture. And I could see right through it. Those who haven't drunk the Democratic Kool-Aid and aren't, brainwashed, they don't see it, but I see it. And many of us who pay attention, we see it. They're just unceremoniously pushing this old man out the pasture. They had him give the on the first night give the last speech. His daughter came before he did, I believe it was. But it's like, damn, the first night, not the last night. He is still sitting president, and this was his convention up until 3 weeks ago, before y'all picked Kamala Harris to be y'all front runner. But damn, y'all couldn't wait till Thursday. Let the man, give. They got Barack Obama coming up next, or I forgot what day, and I think Bill Clinton, Phil Clinton. I know Barack Obama, but damn, y'all wouldn't allow Jim Crow Joe to give the speech the last day. I mean, granted, I know that he's incoherent, and y'all want to push him out the pasture, but damn, that's kind of effed up. That's how y'all doing that. Let the man give the speech. May not the last speech before hers, but let the man speak the last day. Y'all have him gave the last speech on the first day. A sitting president. And I've been hearing things that Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are beefing, because I don't think Nancy Pelosi wanted to throw her support behind Kamala Harris. So there's some rumblings in the Democratic Party. There's a little bit of civil war there. So pay attention to that, because it's noteworthy. But I just find it funny, and I like to see it unfold, because they have a civil war in the Democratic Party. They don't want to admit it, but there is one. But it's just funny to me how they did the old man, grandpa. They just pushed him out there. We gotta have you speak, but it's gonna be on the first night. You're not gonna speak on the last day. We're gonna put you out there. We're gonna give you, you know, the last speech for the first night. They're doing the old man so wrong. Damn. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Damn, that's how y'all do the man? He's still the sitting president until further notice. Until someone gets inaugurated in January of next year, 2025, the man is still president. So it's crazy how they doing it. But that's the first night. Free vasectomies, free abortion pills, protesters protesting the Israel-Hamas war, protesters protesting the illegal immigration. 25 people got shot, and there's a little bit of civil war in the Democratic Party. Nothing to see here. I find it funny. I just find it funny. Mm-mm-mm. So that's it in a nutshell. Just pay attention. Just, I'm just watching it all unfold. Oh, another thing. This is on a personal note. A friend of mine, I had brought up the free abortion pills and the free vasectomies. And a friend of mine in Chicago, who's there at Ground Zero, he said that, I guess he was trying to say it was fake news that I was spreading. I said no. First, I showed him an article from USA Today. It was from 4 years ago. So that was my faux pas. I admit it, that was my faux pas. So I showed him an article from the Chicago Tribune from that very day, August 19th, 2024, which was yesterday. Current article. and they talked about these free abortions and free vasectomies. August 19th, 2024, Chicago Tribune, his hometown paper. So he goes on a tangent, was like, and this guy is a deacon in the church. He's a deacon in the church. So he goes on a tangent, was like, you must be a Trumper. If you say you are, just submit it. Just say you're a Trumper. I said, why do I have to be a Trumper? Why must I be a Trumper for saying that I'm against something? I'm morally against abortion. So that makes me a Trump supporter? That's asinine. Then he goes on and says that um, you talk about one sin, but talk about all sins, because we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And I'm like, dude, you're deflecting. Yes, we all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What does that have to do about abortion being wrong under the eyes of God? So I gotta talk about murder, men cheating on their wives, wives cheating on their husbands, people using drugs, um, people what's another cheating people, stealing. I gotta talk about these other all these other sins, but I can't talk about what I have a problem with, what I'm morally against. And then when I talk about that, I'm a Trump supporter. I love the brother, but some of us are just so bamboozled in the mind. We're just so misinformed. Our views are warped. And sadly, many of these people are in the church. It's a sad state of affairs, but it's true. We want to concentrate on everything else. Everything else, well, you got people, selling the pee. You got people getting shot. You got people carjacking people. You got people selling drugs, this and that. But why you focus on abortion? Because it's wrong, man. These other things are wrong too. But let's stay focused on the problem at hand. The government is promoting people killing their babies. I think abortion is worse than carjacking. I think it's worse than people getting shot because you're not giving people a chance at life. And shouldn't that be a bigger issue? But nope. If the Democrats are pushing it, they're silent. Now, if the Republicans are pushing it, oh, they'd be all on social media talking about it. What these Republicans are doing, it's murder. It's murder. But if the Democrats doing it, well, what about the other crimes? What about this? What about this? What about that? It's like, come on, stop deflecting. I wanted to call him Dikembe Mutombo. Not today. Block. Not today. All is well. Thank you for tuning in. No reparations, no Democrats. Exactly. No reparations, no vote. That's how I see it. And I said that on here, and I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks now. But it's worth repeating. We want reparations. We want tangibles. We want something for our votes. Quid pro quo. Something for something. That's how politics work. Every other community gets that except the Black community. And why is that? The Hispanic community gets that. The Jewish community gets that. The LGBTQ plus IA community gets that. The Middle Eastern community gets that. The Asian community gets that. Every community gets it but us. Something for something. You want something from me, I want something from you. The doctrine of equal exchange. But instead, we major in the doctrine of unequal exchange. Dr. Claude Anderson said it decades ago. We major in the minors. We just do. No reparations, no Democrats, no reparations, no Republicans, no reparations, no vote. Come on. It's not that hard. Reparations, an anti-black hate crime bill, a black economic plan, similar to the Marshall Plan that helped rebuild Western Europe after World War II, the Point Four program that helped build Japan after World War II. I think the black community needs to be rebuilt. After many wars here in this country, the war on drugs, the school to prison pipeline, give us our tangibles, a black economic plan, our version of the Marshall Plan or the Point Four program. Rebuild our community. And Ice Cube was saying this 4 years ago with his contract with Black America, pretty much what I'm saying now, our Marshall Plan or Point Four program. But Negroes scoffed at him and ridiculed him. Trump's people listened to Ice Cube's contract with Black America. But Biden's people, well, we'll talk to you after we win the election. And guess what happened? They never spoke to Brother Ice Cube. And he knew that. But that's what we want. I said it on Friday. I went through this paper, The Final Call. What the Muslims want on the last page. This is last week's paper, but I went through, what the Muslims want. Last Friday. Check it out. That's right. CPS protections for Black American children. That's a huge one. Tangibles. That's all we're asking for. If you're willing to give us these things, then we're willing to listen to you. Other than that, keep it moving. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check, sucker. Cut the bullshit and cut the check. Delineate after. Yup. We sure do. Cut that check, sucker. Cut that check. Cut the bullshit and cut the check. Like Dr. King said, we're coming for our check. I think I made my point known on this topic here. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Share the video, share this video, share it, share it, share it. Let's have the conversation. In the likelihood that y'all don't agree, and that's fine. We all entitled to a right to our opinion. In the likelihood that you don't agree, Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's do that. Agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And in our disagreements, use logic and respect, not emotion and disrespect. Please drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Share this video. Support my podcast. Support my YouTube channel here. It'd be greatly appreciated because I need it. And I really, really appreciate y'all. And I thank y'all. And I love y'all. Facts over feelings. That's correct. Hello, and thank you for tuning in. But yeah, facts over feelings. That's absolutely right. So share it, share it, share it. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Brothers and sisters, y'all be safe out here. Be safe. Be safe. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Now more than ever. So whether you're going to work, leaving work, dropping your kids off at school, because school has started out here on the West Coast, picking your kids up, running errands, still on vacation because we're in the final days of the summer break. Just be safe, be watchful, be watchful, be ever so watchful. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I love y'all. And let me know what you think. All right, y'all, I'm out, and have a blessed, wonderful day. I love y'all. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.